In Chains is one of my favourite songs on the album. I think it's the perfect way to open up the album. I wrote it with Dan McDougall. We had a great couple of days writing this track, and then I had such a great time recording, tracking the drums, basses, things like that. I mean, I even got to get my guitar out and do a solo, which I haven't done since my... Loving You is the first single from Porcelain, and I was lucky enough to get to work with, write with, and duet with the legend that is Melanie C. It's such a fun process, from the writing to recording the video to releasing and promo. It's just been so cool, and it's been so well received, so I hope you enjoy it. When You Were My Girl is the second single from the album. I started writing it in LA with JC Chazet from NSYNC. It was a fun day, and then we came back, and myself and Will Talbot, Jamie Scott, and Toby Smith, we sat around and we finished it off. And it's something I'm really proud of. The track's come a long way from its early days, and I think it's one of my favourite tracks I've been involved in. Hit My Heart is the real pop moment for me on the album. It's got a real feel-good sound to it, produced by Ash Howes. It's just a big track. The sentiment is, you know, when you've been knocked off your feet by someone and bowled over and fallen in love, if that ends, someone has to do that again even harder. So it's about, you know, asking love to hit you harder than it's ever hit you before, so you can fall again. A Little Too Late was the first track I wrote with Ben Cullum. You know, Ben had a great thing on the go as I arrived at the studio. This track that he was building just sounded like it was going to be something absolutely massive. So we dug deep and we spent a good few days working on this track. Lyrically, it's a kind of a twisted look at a situation that I've been in. It's not necessarily from my point of view, but it's a serious track on the album. It was big from the start, and I think it ends even bigger. Not Over You I wrote with Brian McKnight and Will Talbot. It's a song that has gone deeper and more honest than I think I've ever been in any track that I've ever written. I mean, the name says it all. That's what the track is about. Yeah, and it's a very important track. Mouth to Mouth was the second track I wrote with Connor, and it was another great day. You know, we nailed another song with a great sentiment. Connor's so great with lyrics, and we really clicked on that level. It was great fun to record this track. It's got a bit of a Spanishy feel here and there. I bought a nylon string guitar not long ago, and I felt like I should put it on the album, so it was good fun to get it out. Yeah, and it was, you know, great fun to put the drums down, put the bass down. It's really tight. There's some Michael Jackson-esque flavours in there. It was really cool one to produce. Your Kind of Love I wrote with Ben Cullum. It came after messing around after a session. We were just about to go and wind in some Nando's and a few beers after a writing session, and I was sat on the drums and Ben was on the bass, and we just started jamming, and this came. The groove for it came, at least, and yeah, we wanted to do some kind of Chili Peppers-esque rock funk thing with it, but the track just grew and grew and grew. You know, it's quite a sexy track. Obviously can't go too deep into the inspirations behind it, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to record. This Trouble Is Ours I wrote with Alex Reid. It was a wicked day down at his place. We clicked straight away, and especially lyrically, we were on the same page right from the word go. The track is about a destructive relationship, or an already broken down relationship, where basically there's no one else to turn to. The problem that you have is between the two of you. You know, this trouble is ours, and there's no one else to look at or to look to for help. And there's, you know, also an element of not wanting it to be over. Porcelain is the first track I wrote with Connor Reeves, and it's such a special track for me on the album. Not only is it the title track, but for me, in the same way Lately sums up the entirety of The Fire, Porcelain sums up Porcelain for me. That was how I was feeling throughout the entirety of the writing process of this album. It's a much more positive look at a lot of things in my life.